actually talking about AI agents. This is kind of like one of the first IRL AI agent live stream, but done here at ETH Denver. So for all the builders hearing us, it's really a pleasure. And let's get started. I think like you are really one of the first AI agent builder that we are meeting here in Denver. So welcome. It's an honor to have you. And you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here at ETH Denver, and like with all the crazy hype on AI agents.
Yes.
I think we're gonna have a lot of talking.
Oh yes. There is a lot of things. I think like I saw around like 20 hacker houses, and at least like 15 hacker houses are all about AI agents. Super interesting. And I mean, I started to see like agent builder even before kind of like the Web3 Rail frameworks. But since the frameworks kind of came out with like ELIZA 1, I'm super hyped around ELIZA 2. It's kind of like there is a big wave. A lot of like builders are definitely like enhancing capabilities about specific verticals and services. But actually, like let's deep dive a little bit. Like, what did you build, and what kind of like the problems that you were trying to see kind of like solve before?
Amazing. So I'll do the introduction and
of course,
answer your
yes.
question. So I'm Liran. I'm from Israel,
nice.
And for the last year I worked for eOracle, and in the last 2 months I left eOracle to work full-time on Edwin.
Nice.
Edwin is the framework we're developing.
Yes.
It's a universal infrastructure layer to connect AI agents to DeFi.
Nice.
So it all came from the idea of we had in eOracle, where we got into the trenches of DeFi protocol and did a lot of integrations. When all AI agents started, we found that the agents are not capable of doing the
100%.
Operation, and like they need some kind of new interface, right? Which is text interface, and DeFi protocol are not built for that. So after like doing a lot of integration ourselves, we did know how to write the code to do all this kind of integration and do it in a universal, abstract way. So we decided to create an open source library where anyone can integrate their protocol really easy to our abstraction layer. And
so you build also full integration with all the DeFi protocols.
Yes, and it's also always developing. It's very easy to integrate a new DeFi protocol to our library. And on the other hand, you get the interface for AI agents in text. So
that's
AI
cool.
agents now can interact with DeFi protocols almost natively.
That's super cool. I mean, normally, like I would like to see a demo, and we can definitely like do a part 2. But you want to walk me a little bit through the kind of like the AI agent kind of like developer or AI agent consumer kind of like journey. So they will actually interact with this framework. What's kind of like how they consume these agents right now, like when they build their own agent, because this is a framework, right?
Yeah, great. So we are integrated to different AI agents framework. We are agnostic for the foundation model, and we are agnostic for the framework. So you are very bullish about ELIZA, you said?
Yeah.
We are integrated to ELIZA, and we just announced our partnership with them.
Nice.
We have an integration to ELIZA, and then you just need to import, when you're building an agent on top of ELIZA, you can just import Edwin, and you get the full capability of DeFi. And if you know a little bit of how it works in ELIZA, you have these actions in ELIZA, right? And your agent are thinking of where they want to call an action, and then they can add an action. So Edwin is just when you import Edwin, it just exports a list of actions that any agents can call.
Nice. Actually, this is super interesting, and definitely I want to deep dive a little bit more on the tech stack, right? So basically, you're saying if someone kind of like want to build with ELIZA, you could go through like Edwin. If people want to do much like more Python heavy, like agent building, you integrate also some kind of like Python libraries. Like you want to run a little bit through the kind of like the tech stack of Edwin.
So we decided to go for a TypeScript library. The reason is because most of SDKs already out there for DeFi protocols are in TypeScript. It's very popular, and also both ELIZA and LangChain, the popular frameworks, they support TypeScript out of the box. So TypeScript was the default choice for us, and we are also type. We like a strict language, and it's very good for us. We don't have support for Python though. But it could be of community.
Yeah, it's probably coming. Like that's definitely some alphas here.
Interesting.
Cool. No, that's super interesting. So just to try to understand, so why an agent should go directly with Edwin compared going directly with ELIZA? Are you guys abstracting layers and have like some different integrations specific to DeFi protocols?
So you don't have to choose between Edwin and ELIZA, right? It's a complementary product. So go with ELIZA, of course. And whenever you need to do some interaction with DeFi protocol, then you ask yourself, how I do it? Maybe you want to build a specific plugin in ELIZA that interact with the DeFi protocol, but you will get to a point where you realize it's a complex process and you have to manage the wallet and you have to manage transactions and the security behind it and to understand the protocol itself and creating some kind of abstraction for the protocol. And in Edwin, it's already done for you. So it's
very cool. And what's your what do you see right now is kind of like the trends around agent builders? Like, do you see people like moving to different frameworks? Do you see? Because I totally agree with you. I think there is a big need also to verticalize AI agents, kind of like frameworks. And having actually integration or kind of, let's say, bridges to DeFi protocols specifically, it's also a deep kind of like value prop, because I already see like there is two big waves. You have kind of like the DeFi heavy agents, and then the like builders, and then you have like more on the social side, right? Specific on socials. I don't know, like what are kind of like your takes in terms of like where the space is moving for both like the kind of like the developers using those frameworks and kind of could be even like consumers. Yeah,
that's a major question.
Yes, let's break down.
The thing the biggest trend I see right now upcoming is Def AI. Okay, it's DeFi plus AI.
Yeah,
and it comes from the realization. Okay, we have crypto. DeFi is a product market fit in crypto, no doubt. Then people started with the AI agents, and mostly what they do is social and post a lot of tweets, but what's the real connection to crypto here? And DeFi and
is putting that together
is something that already exists, and now we see the market moving towards like the connecting between the AI agents to DeFi. This is Def AI, or DFI. And really, this is like what we believe, and we come as Edwin like to push it forward, like agents that actually do operations in DeFi, and then you can actually make use of the brains of the LLM, right? What I do like to see right now in the market is that some agents that are smart about crypto-related stuff. They are quants. They analyze a lot of information. They connect to many data sources, and they output some real value for traders or investors. But the next phase is what Edwin is focused on, is to let these agents to be actionable and do stuff of their own, while also simplifying the interface for DeFi for users.
That's very cool, very cool. What is your take also on, because I guess with Edwin also like the next kind of phase is also like building like agents on top of this, but they're actually coordinating with other agents, because the biggest reason why Modder is kind of like alive is because not even back in the days, like it was 1 year ago, we basically said DeFi Summer, when DeFi Summer happened, everybody was forking DEXs, right? And a lot of like, let's say, DeFi newcomers got kind of like burned because they didn't know which DEXs to use. Same is happening with AI agents. Right now people are forking agents, and it's starting to get more like Wild Wild West, but I think it's like 6 months ahead, we will have much more like same use case, having basically like the same agent building that. And we will see the same thing. So we basically said, okay, we need to build public and open source attestation and starting to having social graphs for those agents, right? So that you know that Edwin was one of the first and has kind of providing this value for agent builders and consumers. So building social graph for agents is something that is extremely important. And right now there is not kind of like something is happening. That's why kind of I'm saying that. So kind of like the question is really is going in the direction is where kind of you see the space, but also like how we can start to build social graphs for agent, right? I think that's something this is super relevant.
Interesting. When you talk about social graph, you talk about the mindshare of an agent, or
yeah, I mean for the social kind of agents, I think mindshare makes sense. But for example, if you think about like DeFi heavy agents, like I think there would be in a future that right now human builds software and human builds agents, right? But that's why like I was asking a bit around agent-to-agent coordination, because I think like we are becoming a future where human treasury will be deployed to agent treasury, and same you will have agents to kind of deploy to agent treasury and providing services, especially on DeFi. We see already kind of, I know that probably people will kind of like hate me seeing that, but we saw back in the days when kind of like Telegram bots, kind of automation and triggering auctions were building valuable, kind of let's say valuable, will building value for users out there. And I think it's going the same direction that you will have human or even like treasuries that will start deploying funds to AI agents. That's why it's very important to also understand which kind of agents is worth it. That's why you need to have a social graph for those agents. And that's why like also a question for you is mostly like what is your take around the agent-to-agent collaboration? Because the biggest problem that not just DAO had back in the days is coordination, is human coordination. I think agents will definitely be there for actually building this kind of coordination layer. But what is your take around that?
Yeah, so I categorize agents into two different two categories. Yes. So one is what I call service agent.
Yeah.
They usually very specialized around one service, or in the case of Edwin is one protocol or one DeFi operation. In case of other agencies, maybe around specific data.
Yeah.
And they know where human can interact with it in chat, it simplifies the interface, and also agents can interact with the agent, and it provides a service for them.
Yes.
Right? This is why I call them service.
Yeah.
The second category is autonomous agents. And autonomous agents, they run all the time. They don't need any input. And they have specific goal in mind, and they try to reach this goal. What we've seen, like with the social agent, their goal is to interact on Twitter. So they also always like get a thing for they need to post. They have a goal for posting in a few hours or so, and that's like what they're doing. And in DeFi, in our space, which I can talk a lot about, is their goal is mostly about money. Is managing money, and this is like we launched the first autonomous DeFi agent. It's called AIYMX, AI yield maximization agent.
Nice.
And its goal is maximize yield.
Yes.
It started with a wallet. It has a wallet.
Yes.
And it does operation, currently liquidity provision.
Yes.
And you can see it grows.
Yes. Yes.
And the goal here is not its metric, which we need to move from mindshare to something else.
Yes.
It's not about mindshare for these DeFi agents. It's more about the profits they make.
Very
so we're gonna see the market moves like from mindshare to profits and results base, like we see in different protocols where we have the APR and APY.
Yes.
I think agent will also be measured like this.
100%, yeah. I think I really like the answer about kind of the two categories. I totally agree. And I think also we need to build standards from agent to agent kind of standards or frameworks, right? Because I think that's something that will be needed. And I think we're almost on time here. Like, so what's happening? What are kind of like the next milestones for you guys post Denver around kind of cooking new features, kind of like adding new integration or new frameworks?
Yeah, so Edwin launched 1 month ago.
Yeah.
So it's very recent, and we have a few agent builders building on top of us. We really came for Denver, like very excited that Edwin is in the current level where other builders, like anyone, can start building on top of it. And what I think we're gonna see a lot, and this is what I really hope for, is more builders come to build on Edwin, and more agents that are launching and doing some really innovative DeFi strategies with AI.
Nice.
Yeah, so we build it just as a tooling for other people to find the right strategy. Now it's about like innovation and using the reduced time for launching that we did in order to find like profitable strategies, and then I think these agents will get a lot of attention. And
sounds good. So for the builders out there, how developers are onboarding to Edwin today? Like I assume docs and this kind of
of course we have the documentation, and the strong thing is the Discord community. Like we have the agent builders channel in the community, and many different support channels. So we're really supporting the builders. Getting started is really easy. Like we have a quick start guide. Where if you're already familiar with Eliza or LangChain, it's very simple. Just import Edwin. It works. Like
directly.
This is
nice. I'm definitely looking forward to see kind of like a demo. And I think also post-ever we should definitely reconnect with a part to actually showing like a demo how to build also an agent with Edwin. In the meantime, thanks so much. I think this agent intelligence was very kind of like session was very interesting. We also sent some links I think around Edwin, and probably I see you in the hackathon or in the conference. So thank you so much for coming and presenting.
Amazing. Thank you for having me. It was awesome. It was a pleasure. Awesome. Nice conversation.
Yes.
And we have some demos you can watch on Twitter.
Oh yes, let's send the
right
link now after.
Yes, and I would love to do like a deep dive of